Before I start this video, I would like to ask my American viewers, how are you? How are you doing? How are you feeling? How are you holding up? Is there anything I can do? Anything we can do collectively to hold space for you as you navigate today's election results and the repercussions of what is to come? This video is going to be a bit of a long one, slightly longer than my other Veil God videos, because I know a lot of people are reeling right now, and maybe you got on YouTube and clicked on my video for an escape. I just want you to know that this channel and me, the person talking to you right now, I'll always create a safe space for you. I will always hold you in community and try my damnedest to protect your joy. Whether you follow me for my gaming content, my Bridgerton or movie content, or just to hear me speak, I will try my hardest to be your port in this storm and to hold you and hold space for your joy and sanity. Which of course means that should the trolls and the bigots come out in any force, there are only two options they are getting. I am either blocking your unwashed ass, or I am laughing in the face of your trash ass, vile ass, piece of shit ass self. No exceptions. Sorry, not sorry, but my patience for your dumbass is now at a full-on zero. And for those who are curious about why on earth I am so concerned, as someone who doesn't even live in the US, the answer is pretty simple. American election results are felt all around the world. I blame this on American imperialism, because no matter how far we might be from you all, your policies and the shifting of your politics always affect the rest of the world, especially those of us in the global south. Think about how hard the Christo-fascist elements in the US worked hard to repeal Roe v. Wade. And when it sinks in that these are the same evangelicals present in African countries, pushing against abortion rights, pushing for the death penalty for queer Africans like myself, then it starts to sink in that what affects you affects a lot of us too. So yes, I care. And yes, I am so sorry that this is what the system has forced onto you all. And yes, I will continue to hold space for those of you who come to my channel looking for joy. And with that out of the way, here are 10 things I personally think Dragon Age the Veil God did right. Please let me know in the comments what your 10 things are, or if you agree or disagree with mine. Like I said, this is my personal opinion. Remember people, opinions are like assholes. Everyone's got one. This just happens to be mine. Oh, also, like the title said, there will be absolutely no spoilers in this video, whether in the clips you see or in the words I say. I've got you. And we'll start with the big one. Dragon Age the Veil Guard launched with no bugs. Like, I know a lot of people have been on the hate train and there have been conversations about the many things that people think the game has done badly. But the one thing that I think we can all agree on is that the devs deserve all the flowers. This is a great game that runs amazingly well with 0 bugs. Do you understand how hard it is to get that? To have a game of this magnitude launch and the internet is not immediately flooded with screenshots of bugs breaking the game and the experience, it's a win, a big win that few people are talking about. And it grinds my gear because if BioWare had launched a broken game, everyone and their mother would have had something to say. But they didn't. And it's crickets. And I hate it. So yes, the first thing that Dragon Age the Veilguard did right, it launched without any bugs, which is fantastic. Second thing that Dragon Age the Veilguard did right, they gave us a complete story. No DLC needed to wrap things up. And I know some people are upset about the way the story ended. Now, I'm still playing it, so I don't know how it ended. But even if it breaks my heart, or I feel unsatisfied, or I wish maybe the writers had done something different, I am still going to be okay with the story we were given. Partly because I've always been someone who values and prioritizes artistic integrity. I have always belonged to the school of thought that believes that creators should be allowed to tell the stories they want to tell, not catering to the whims and demands of those who engage with their work. Because what ends up happening is that all those inputs and taking it on board to change things ends up changing the actual work and its intent. And I am a big fan of authorial and artistic intent. And so the writers and the devs telling us that this is a complete story, that there won't be any DLC to wrap up any loose ends, and this is what we get. This is how they intend to wrap up the story that started in Inquisition with elements from Origins and Dragon Age 2, makes me happy. And for me, it's a good thing that Veilguard is doing. For added context, Trespasser was a mandatory DLC that concluded the story for Inquisition. If you didn't get that DLC, you'll be left with unanswered questions and a feeling that, is that it? Is that all? The devs therefore decided that that isn't going to be the Veilguard experience. That we as the fans deserve better. We deserve more. And they did that. Personally, I think it's worthy of being commended. And I will always shout it from the rooftops. I mentioned it on Twitter back when BioWare first made the announcement that Larian did the same. Said there were no planned DLCs for Baldur's Gate 3. That they are focused on telling a singular complete story. And everyone rightfully came out and cheered the decision as what the industry needs and how more studios should be focused on telling complete stories rather than trying to drain their audience with demands of more money couched in buy out DLC to finish your story rhetoric. And yet, when BioWare did the same, crickets, I see you. I know what you are. Third thing that Dragon Age the Veilguard did right, not including any third-party DRM like Denuvo on any platform. Like, I know some people with PCs were very upset because this meant they couldn't preload like those of us on other platforms. But at the same time, I do think that BioWare deciding to ask the third-party DRM to help enhance gamers' enjoyment of Veilguard is something that is worth celebrating, especially because it also shows a ton of trust, and that BioWare is not willing to fuck up player experience for the sake of sales and a fear of piracy. And I again find it interesting that certain peoples and elements chose to ignore this, when this is part of what gamers have been asking from studios and their publishers. That BioWare was able to get this done for Dragon Age the Veilguard, and they were able to get EA to agree to this? EA? That is huge. That is something good. That is something I will always celebrate. If what we state is that as consumers, we want studios to listen to our demands and requests and create player experiences that are not completely exploitative, then when they do this right, when they take this step, I think it's only logical that we mention these things and celebrate them for taking such choices. Like, that shit isn't hard. Let's celebrate when they get things right so others can see that and do that too. Fourth thing that Dragon Age the Veilguard did right: the combat. I don't know how to tell you all, but Dragon Age's combat has always been a bit iffy and all over the place. Inquisition is especially tedious, and I love that game. But the combat was pretty meh. Dragon Age the Veilguard, on the other hand, it's all zippy quick. Sure, the monsters all focus on you and bosses can kick your ass, but when you figure out what build you're going for, I went for a high stagger, two-handed weapon build, and let me tell you, it has been glorious. If you want to catch my playthrough, do check out my second channel, PS It's Noria, where I put up new videos of my Dragon Age the Veilguard playthrough every day. Today's episode is already live, and it's me helping Nev solve the missing relic case. But as I was saying, back to the combat. It runs so smoothly. My first rook and first playthrough is a Lord of Fortune two-handed warrior, like I said. But I've also designed my second and third rooks because I fully intend to dive right back into this game for another playthrough the minute the present one ends. And I have played both rooks up until Balara's recruitment mission. So I have an idea of how their base class plays in this game. My second rook is a mage and my third is a rogue. And I can say categorically that this is the first Dragon Age game where all the classes, every single one of them, is an absolute blast and a complete delight to play. Once you've gotten your handle on it and you decide what you like. I mean, the combat in this game has me laughing and smiling like a loon. It is so good. It plays so well, and most importantly, it is so much fun. And I think that that is something to be commended. Because we get fun and a great story and lore and Dragon Age. And this girl's heart is full and content. The mechanics of how the combat works is so easy to grasp. And I know some people complain that the game seems to be directing the players on what to do. And I can't speak for everyone, but I can speak for myself. And this girl appreciates the hand holding. Thank you very much. Speaking of hand holding, especially during combat, the fifth thing that Dragon Age the Veilguard did right is just that. Banter during combat. I know there are people who don't like it, and I'm sorry to you all. But having Hardin cheer me on with a good one, Rook, makes me incredibly happy. I feel on top of the world. I think the reason why I'm playing through Veilguard like a god that occasionally dies, but not all the time, mind you. And yes, I'm playing on adventurer mode for my first playthrough. Sue me, cause I don't care. But as I was saying, I think the reason why this game makes me feel like a god is that beyond the combat being just sweet and smooth, it's the fact that my companions keep gassing me up. It's making my head practically swell. I keep smiling like a loon, ecstatic because, yes, Emmerich, tell me what a good girl I'm being. Thank you, Hardin, for confirming that I did good. Thank you, Nev, for going all, Rook's got that. Because that was the impetus I needed to have that. Thank you, Bellara, for your nice work, Rook. Thanks, Davin, for the that's impressive. And thanks, Lucanus, for giving me the heads up that someone's behind you. For those that are like, okay, girl, what about Tash? I haven't recruited them yet. I'm doing some quests before I head to Rivain, and I cannot wait to meet them and hear them encourage me like the others do in battle. Like, after Dragon Age the Veilguard, best believe I am going to be side-eyeing companions in other games if they aren't gassing me up when I do right. Like, bruh, did you catch that shot? I charged my shield and it went in a straight line, straight to that dude's forehead, decapitating his ass. Shouldn't you be telling me good job? Like, that's going to be me every game after this one. If y'all don't like all that yapping, sorry for and to you. I love it. It's bloody fantastic. From combat banter, we go to the sixth thing that Dragon Age the Veilguard did right. The party banter and companion relationships. I don't know how to tell you all this, especially if you're someone who doesn't understand the intricacies of what you have to do as a writer to make a relationship feel real, to see how it progresses and develops over time. But you see, the party banter and conversations and how it reveals to us how the relationship between the companions progresses and grows is something I absolutely love about this game. I love that Bellara is beyond thrilled to meet Nev. I love that she expresses to her a love for the serials present in the newspapers that are found in Minrathous, and how she loves puzzling out who the killer is. I love that Nev calls her Belle, and that when you go to Dogtown with her, she's like, I'm gonna grab this cereal real quick for Belle so that she can read up on the next issue of the murder mystery she's currently enjoying. I love that in the codex entry, they are both debating on the mysterious identity of the protagonist. I love that their relationship feels so real. And it's not just Belara and Nev, it's Nev and Hardin. It's Emmerich and Belara, and him encouraging her curiosity and the questions she has of him and what he's studying. It's Emmerich and Hardin and the care he shows her about coming to terms with her abilities. Same thing Nev does. It's Lucanus buying Nev fruits and vegetables because he's appalled that all she eats is fish. Or him buying Belara spices and Hardin more flowers. I just got Davrin and I haven't gone around much with him and the other companions in my party yet. But I am excited to see what his banter is like and which companions he ends up developing a close relationship with. The companions feel real. Their relationship with each other feels incredibly real. I can spend all the time just listening to them, chatting with each other. It makes me so happy. And I do think it's something that Dragon Age the Veilguard does right. 7th is the stunning vistas. Like, come on, this game is gorgeous. Every inch of it takes my breath away. I can't help stopping in my tracks and just staring at all the pretty, like, what? This is one of the most gorgeously designed, breathtaking games made, and I whip in joy. My senses are overloaded with just taking it all in. The majesty of human art, designed to evoke emotions from dread to awe to delight and wonder. Every time we get to a new locale, my breath catches at how stunning this game is. Dragon Age the Veilguard did that. And I will always praise this game for doing that. If you're someone who is dead to beautiful art, that is on you. Me, on the other hand, art made by human hands, gifted to us to marvel at the incredible work and ability that humans have, the sheer skill of what we can accomplish, that type of art will always get the love and support from me. 8 on the list is the looting system. I know a lot of people don't like it. I can see the reason why. It's hard for me to juggle keeping my eyes on the ground and keeping my eyes on the sky to take in all the views at the same time. So that can be frustrating, I'm sure. But the looting system in this game is fantastic. I love the fact that we are rewarded for searching every corner. Like, no matter how small the loot is, and trust me, I need all that gold and material for boosting faction numbers and buying things. Because I like getting gifts and armor and equipment for myself and the companions, and the casual outfits and the interior decor items and helping the caretaker. All of which means that this girl needs everything. And so the fact that I get to explore every corner of this world, that makes me so happy. And in exploring it, I am able to get loot practically guaranteed. It scratches something in my brain. And the fact that the loot upgrades, like, that is something good. That is something amazing. I don't need to worry about having 50 army darks that are just sitting useless in my inventory because they don't sell for much. Now, no matter how useless their equipment or armor can be, knowing that 50 of them will upgrade it until it's at its highest, most epic or legendary level equipment is great. Now I grab everything because I know doing that upgrades what items I have to an even better version of themselves. That is incredible. I love that. Dragon Age the Veil God did that. It was made for people like me who find having 60 variations of something in their inventory frustrating. Now it's only one. And every item of that kind that I pick up just boosts the efficacy of it even more. That is great. That is fantastic. The ninth thing they did right in my book is the removal of the storage system and a weight limit. Like, I know some people love that and think it adds to their enjoyment of the games. But Baldur's Gate 3 has a remove weight on items mod to help with storage to enhance your enjoyment of the game. And yes, I installed that mod because this girl is a pack rat and I like collecting everything I can. So of course my storage is always way too full, way too quickly. And then I have to destroy items because there's no merchant nearby that I can sell things to. Veilguard not putting in that mechanic means that I can enjoy exploration without fear of a storage limit. Now this might not be a plus for others, but for me, it most certainly is. And finally, the 10th thing that Dragon Age the Veilguard did right, the representation. I know the bigots have been running their mouths, spewing their garbage, shitty ass takes from their diarrhea-filled orifices all over the internet because, look us, BioWare has representation, BioWare is woke. And I'm beyond thrilled because BioWare fans love that. We know that and we've always loved it. The fact that the studio continued with that they kept the core of wanting to be as diverse in the representations to be found in their games as possible, makes me so incredibly happy. They did that. I have seen trans fans crying because of that mirror scene. The fact that there is dialogue present in the game to reinforce their identity. I love that. I love that a lot. I know there are people who hate the spoiler alert, and this is the only spoiler bit I am mentioning in this video, which is why I left it for last. But it is very important in this particular point I'm about to make. I know there are people who hate that Harsh is non-binary in the game. They hate how their being non-binary is depicted. They think that it is untrue, that it is inauthentic, that it isn't representative of them and their experience. And to that I will say, as I hold their hands and gently remind them of this core fact that a lot of us tend to forget. Your experience is not universal. Queerness is as varied as those of us who live with that identity. That Harsh's story doesn't resonate with you doesn't mean that they don't resonate with other people. That you think it's cheesy or cringy how their story was written by a non-binary writer, by the way, doesn't mean that others don't feel themselves represented and seen through them, and that others wouldn't play that game and realize that They finally have the word for their experiences, that's a name for how they see themselves. That is why representation matters, because we end up learning and discovering more about ourselves through the media we engage with. It is why fascism likes to shut them down, likes to dictate what we read and watch, what art we create and consume. Because they know that media is as much a tool for education as it is for control. And they want that control. So why am I making this particular video? Because we need to start being loud in shutting down the fascists. You can't make their voices the loudest in our fandom. We cannot let them be the ones to try and force a label of intolerance and bigotry on us. Ours is a fandom that is diverse, drawn to these games and this studio that makes these stories. Yes, they may falter. Yes, some of their stories might be cringy, but they are at least doing something. And I will always be happy and grateful for that. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Hit the like button if you agree and the dislike button if you disagree. Either one works for me really, and it is your choice how you choose to interact with my content. My Veil God videos have been getting downvoted a lot compared to my other videos, and I wish I could say I cared. But I know it's the trolls, pissed and frustrated that I'm being vocal about my love for this game, and to them I will always say, eat shit. Get fucked. If you think others should hear what I have to say, do consider sharing this video. I will say when you're battling a rise of hatred within fandom, because trust me, this isn't the first time I'm experiencing garbage trash like this. Fascism always tries to find its way into fandom spaces. But the fandom response is what matters, and it is often to promote the voices we do want to hear from and see, to drown out the bigots. So yeah, consider sharing this video. It helps me reach a wider audience, which in turn helps my channel grow and is incredibly supportive of my content. Speaking of support, a huge thank you to my Patreons who help me keep the lights on. Thank you. If you want to support me on Patreon and can afford to do so, the link to that is in the description box. I make new videos 3 times a week, Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays. Whilst you wait for new content from me, do consider checking out my "Here's what you might have missed about the Veil Jumpers" video. It has minimal spoilers and you might enjoy it. Until my next video though, do remember, obsessing over the things you love? Perfectly valid coping mechanism.